What's up, everybody? It's your boy J-Rod. Welcome to the channel. So today's video, I got an update on Forrester, the man who went missing in the Dominican Republic. So we did get an official post from NBC Washington that he was found safe. So I'm going to go ahead and read the article. It says, a man with Maryland ties was found after he had not been heard from since he was about to board the plane to the Dominican Republic to salvage his marriage 2 weeks ago, his father told News 4. Forrester is safe, and his father said in the update Monday, without immediately providing additional information. All right, so the thing that pisses me off about this entire situation is that we probably are not going to get any more additional information beyond that point for two reasons. The first reason is because the father literally put his son's personal relationship on Jump Street to the whole entire world. So based from the comments and the way that everybody went in on boy, I actually kind of felt bad for him because the majority of the comments was negative. Well, they actually went in on him and the wife, okay? Majority of the comments was like basically saying this dude was a simp and he got played and blah, blah, blah. So, you know, I would imagine he probably doesn't even want to do any type of media attention regarding his relationship, because you got to look at it from his perspective. Imagine leaving the country to go find your wife, and then next thing you know, weeks later, you know, your father's on the news talking about your relationship, and then everybody's calling you a simp and a loser and etc. So I can imagine he probably does not want to get on camera and talk about this. Granted, the father had every right to do this, because if it were my kids, I would do the same thing. I would probably be on a plane looking for them too. I'll probably be on every news station, every radio broadcast, trying to find my children. So, I mean, you can't help that the father wanted to know where his son's whereabouts were, but that's probably one of the reasons why we haven't really heard much from it. Or he probably told his father, like, look, don't do any more news coverage on this situation because I'm getting clowned right now. And then the second possibility, which I feel like is probably highly unlikely, but it could be a possibility, is he did rekindle things with his wife. And so once again, if he were to go back on to the internet talking about this, it would make both of them look bad. But I highly doubt it because, like I said, they didn't really give much information about her, and that's what I was kind of wanting to know. Like, I wanted to see the other story. I know some people got mad in the comments when I said, well, what if he did something to the wife that made her leave? I guess people were saying like, oh, like you supporting feminism and all this stuff, and I never claimed that the dude was abusive. I just said that I can't give an opinion on something that I don't know about. So it was very vague, the information that they gave, and this was based off of hearsay through the father. So until we get like official information from a direct source other than based off of what the father was saying, I can't really give like a full opinion about the wife. I didn't know how long they was in a relationship, because that definitely will play a part into it. We didn't even get to see what she looked like, you know. We didn't even get a picture of her. Like, I don't even know her name. So it's like, I can't really have an opinion on something. I can just go kind of based off of previous experiences I've heard with other people bringing women overseas, getting married, and then the whole thing happens where the wife leaves, like, wants to get the visa. They never said if she went back to the Dominican Republic. They never said if she went to another state. So these are the type of questions that I have, and maybe it might be somebody out there who knows more than me in regards to this. They might know him personally, and they want to share it in the comment section. But just based off the news article, we only have information from the father. All he said is that they had tension in the relationship, but he didn't really go into any further detail. Now, I did get a comment from someone, and they could be trolling, so please take this with a grain of salt, which is another reason why I waited a little bit before I made this video, because I wanted to get official sources. I'm just go ahead and pull up what this person said. So I feel like it's cap. They said he found her on Pedro Clisante in Romba. She ran out and he chased them down Pedro Clisante and ran into Bailey, where they got into a physical altercation. The dude she was with got involved, and the gringos are being held by the Dominican police awaiting deportation to Haiti. See, that part right there is what made me feel like, bro, this is cap. Because that part, the deportation to Haiti, I feel like they could have been trolling, but then again, I don't know. So that's the only thing I heard in regards to more information about this, but I don't really know this to be true, because like I said, if it ain't from the source, then it didn't happen. So once again, they didn't really give a clear understanding as to what happened to the wife, and due to the public scrutiny and everybody kind of going in on dude, I don't think he would want to be on the internet. And if I'm being completely honest, I probably would be doing the same thing. I would not want to be talking about my relationship publicly like that. That's just me. Another thing that stood out to me about the situation is what took him 2 weeks to like contact his people, because to me, it feels like he didn't want to be found or want to be bothered, or he probably didn't. Well, nah, because he told his father where he was going. So, but I just don't see how like 2 weeks can go by and you don't talk to your people. Like, you didn't think to maybe use somebody else's cell phone to be like, hey pops, like I'm still alive or something. A part of me is wondering if he even wanted to be found, but then once this did get some type of attention on the internet and on the news, that's when he was like, okay, let me go contact my peoples, because I mean, 2 weeks, like you didn't have no access to any type of cell phone, but until Jason comes forward or somebody who knows Jason comes forward and they want to speak about the situation, that is something that's in the back of my head, like what made you not want to contact your people after 2 weeks, if that was to be the case. But all in all, thank God that he is alive, because that really could have been a tragic situation. In terms of the wife, that part of the story is still confusing because I don't really know much information about her, so they haven't even said her name. Now, I did want to shift gears real quick to address some of the comments that was made on the previous video, so I'm about to go on a little rant. Alright, so normally I don't be caring to address stuff, but I feel like with this situation, people do need to understand the difference between race, nationality, and ethnicity. Okay, so when it came to the video I had titled Black Man Went Missing, a lot of people in the comments, I saw many comments of people saying, he's not black, he's not black. You know, it was just like down the timeline. Okay, still in 2025, we are still having this understanding of what is the difference between race, ethnicity, and nationality, okay? So in the video, a lot of people were saying that he was not black because the father was speaking and I guess he had a Caribbean accent. You know, I saw some people saying that he possibly could have been from Trinidad. So I want people to understand, when someone in America, United States of America particularly, when they use the term black, black is not exclusive to only African Americans. I'm gonna repeat this again. The term black is not exclusive to only African Americans, okay? It has dual meaning. It is an ambiguous word, meaning that it has multiple meanings depending on the context of the situation, okay? Sometimes when people say black, they're referring to the race, people of the African diaspora, and then you also have the term black when you're making reference to African Americans, which are the people descendants of slaves in the United States, which that term within itself isn't even politically correct. That's why a lot of African Americans that I have to do this don't even identify as African American, but that term within itself was really to make us feel like we did not belong in America. So when white Americans say like African American, they're really saying like, yeah, they're American, but those are the African Americans over there. Like, they're not like the real Americans, because you don't hear a white person say, well, I'm European American, they're just American, right? So when people use the term black, it can be used synonymously, meaning that if you have any type of African origins and you are living in the United States, it is not just African Americans that live in the United States. And based from the news article, the brother is from Maryland. Okay, so he was born in America. He is a black American. In America, you have different black people from different backgrounds, okay? You have black Haitians, you have black Jamaicans, you have black Colombians, you have black Brazilians, okay? You have black Bahamians. You have different types of blacks that are in America. So when someone says black, it is not exclusively referring to African American. I do understand on a global standpoint, because on a global scale, especially in terms of modern pop culture, you know, a lot of people associate the term black with African Americans. And that is why we have that meme, I know black, I Dominican. Okay, that came from the fact that people confuse race and ethnicity. Okay, because over in their countries, they identify with nationality. So when they come over to a country like United States of America, where we're founded on segregation, okay, and systematic racism, and that is what we've been conditioned to live under for so many centuries. When you tell somebody that they're black, okay, a lot of them, they get confused in thinking that you're talking about African American, because like I told you, globally, on a mass scale, that's what people associate that with. But in technical terms, black is not exclusive to African American. So I just kind of wanted to throw that out there, because there were a lot of people that were trying to like be on my case about that situation. And then I even had somebody say like, no, his father is Hispanic. Well, Forrester, technically, I don't think that's a Hispanic last name, but Okay, even if the father was Hispanic, there are black Hispanics out here. You have black Guatemalans, you have black people from Mexico, you have black people from Honduras. This is why you need to get a passport and travel and see the world. So I just wanted to kind of, I guess, break that down for people, because I hope that kind of breaks things down. And if you try to argue with me in the comment section, like my sister said, sometimes you just have to let people live in ignorance. You know, I can't make somebody understand pure logic, but if you want to argue about it in the comment section, go right ahead. And regardless of what people say in terms of whether he's black or not, phenotypically, the brother is black. And when it comes to white media, they're not going to look at him any other way. When they look at him, they're going to see it as another black story, and they're going to turn a blind eye to it. And that's just the reality of being a person of color in the United States, or a black person specifically in the United States. But that's pretty much all I have for the video, y'all. I still stand on the fact that you do need to be careful for who you marry overseas and vet people out. If I do get any other additional information about the story, I'll report about it. But it seems like this is the end of the road with this situation. But please vet the people out. Make sure that you stay in contact with your people so you don't end up on the news. And yeah, be safe out there, y'all. I'm glad that Jason Forrester is okay. And yeah, I want to hear you guys' thoughts down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And thanks for watching. Peace.